we are programmed from a very young age
Yep.
that you must have a conventional job because that is the only way that you're going to make a decent living.
Yep.
And you're going to have to work your ass off at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, work till you bleed.
Well, work
You know, like,
pretty
like
much
it's,
the majority of your adult life.
yeah. And that, like, it's going to be hell. You're going to go through hell. And you, if you don't do all this, then you're not going to have, you know, a fabulous life, whatever. And so,
Yeah.
like, that's what I believed for so long. And I got a job outside of, actually, I was still at college when I got the job. And it was a deemed conventional job. I was working in an office. I was working full time, but I was still going to college, and I worked my butt off at that job. And more times than not at that job, I was working at least 2 or 3 people's work.
Yep.
Like, doing the work of 2 or 3 people rather than just, you know, my own.
And then that was expected of you to carry that on.
Yeah, and you better believe I was not compensated for it. And it was never taken into consideration. So over the course of 12 years, I had raised my pay up to a certain level that, you know, still wasn't equivalent for the work that I was doing, but, you know, it was finally raised up. Like, I was happy about it, whatever. Well, not happy about it, but you know. But then I started, like, when I started on this journey, and that was eventually one of the things that I learned was that if, you know, those were limiting beliefs that I held, that it had to be conventional and I had to work my ass off for it. And those are exactly what I was doing up until that point. And then once I finally learned that those were just limiting beliefs that were programmed into me that I was holding on to, I started to do all of the work to let that go.
Yeah.
I finally asked the question. I was like, well, why? Why do I have to have a conventional job? Why can't I do something else? Why do I have to work my ass off at it? Why can't I have fun and enjoy it? And once I asked those questions, I really sat there and thought on it a lot. And I was like, no, this is not how it should be. It was just kind of like this little epiphany. And I was like, I don't have to have a conventional job. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
And I don't have to work my ass on it. Like, there's nothing saying that I can't have fun and enjoy my job and look forward to it. And so I started focusing all of my attention on that. And I started focusing on, like, all the positives in life and all the things that I wanted them to be. Like, I enjoy going to work every day, and I love what I do, and I feel great every day when I wake up, and like all of these kinds of things. And I really started focusing hardcore on all of that and like all of those positive feelings that came along with it. And then I want to say it was like maybe a year or two. It was like 2 years into my journey, like my conscious journey of changing things. I ended up leaving that job, and I went into what is deemed a very non-conventional job. Like, now I work at a day spa, and I've been doing that ever since. And the most interesting part to me was, now I was in this place. I loved doing what I did. I loved the environment that I was in. I looked forward to going there every day. I didn't have those feelings of like, ugh, I don't want to do this. Just that like
Yeah.
dread in the morning, like, oh, Monday morning, rolling around again. Like, I didn't have any of that anymore. And then I was 8 months into that job. And so like with that job, like you're on a strictly like you get people on your schedule, you get a commission for each person you see, and like that's that. So it's a very like it can be a very unstable job potentially,
Yeah.
financially speaking. And 8 months into that job, I had already built myself up to the same pay that it took me 12 years to get at that other job.
It's insane.
And I was working less hours. And I'm like, well, fuck. It just, it was like a major, like, holy shit. Like, I started questioning it, and I trusted and did my work towards bettering myself and getting rid of all these limiting beliefs so that I didn't have these blockages, that I could go and do whatever, and just really just improving every aspect of my life. And then I was presented with the opportunity to do so, and I continued to trust, and I went and did it, and it turned out to prove like all of those limiting beliefs wrong, and prove that they were in fact like very limiting beliefs. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't working my ass off, and I did enjoy doing what I was doing, and it was not conventional by any means, but it still ended with the same result in regard to what a job is there for, to support you and or your family.
Yeah.
It's like,
See,
holy shit.
I love how we both came to this point so differently.
Right?
Because you saw it and chose it.
Yeah.
I didn't choose. I was kind of guided to get to the point, because I was working at the mundane 9 to 5, and then I was pregnant, and as soon as I'd given birth, it was, I can't go back there. I'm not gonna give that company my time and take me away from my child.
Yeah.
So then it was self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work for myself, because then it's on my terms.
Yeah.
And I did that for 5 years, I think. About 5 years. And then it just got to the point I wasn't enjoying it. I hated it. And it was like, the money was good, but it didn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
And it was just that position where I just said no.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I can't. No, this has to stop. And then I stumbled upon other things, art and such, and it kind of snowballed. Yeah, it happened so quick.
We're good at snowballing.
Yeah, snowballing's fun. But
It
yeah,
really is.
it was situations which caused me to get to that point to open my eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did.
Right? That's the thing. Whatever it is that flips that switch that cracks that door open just enough.
Isn't it like the light bulb moment though? When it goes, you can feel it as soon as you're like, I'm awake.
Yeah.
You can
And you just
feel
suddenly
it.
start questioning everything.
Yeah. But I can't even explain, like, I felt like I was being constantly hugged and I was safe.
Yeah.
And I was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I'd never felt that, like, before.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest parts too, is the fact that, like, both of us in those instances, like, because that's a very scary thing to do, like making such huge changes like that. I mean, they are life altering. They can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Like, they can really make you or they can really ruin you. So it's like, you know, you really have to have a lot of trust. And the fact that we both, like, felt that warm hug, like, this is okay, this is safe, like, and just trusting that, you know what, yes it is gonna be okay, and then
even
actually going through with it.
On the days that don't feel easy, because it's not always easy. It's not just like you're floating along with, like, this is so nice. It's not easy. You're still tested and learning, and things still get thrown in, but they're a lesson. And as long as you, like, view it as that, when something happens, like, okay, this is a lesson.
Yes.
What can I learn?
Exactly. What is the universe trying to teach me here?
Yeah. Exactly.
Because that's the thing. Like, you're gonna be constantly growing and evolving and raising that vibration up. So, like, in order to climb those stairs, like, you're gonna have to have those moments where, like, you take that break and you learn that lesson, you take that breath and learn more things so that you can continue rising up.
Because we are.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that too, that, like, how both of us got here was so different. Like, everybody's journey is going to be so different.
Yeah. And like, it's on our journeys as well. We learn so many different things. And the different things we learn should always be shared. Like, speak about your journey, because it helps other people. Some people may relate to a part of it. Other people, it will change maybe their perspective on things, and it might click to something that, oh yeah, I get that now. Exactly.
Something from your journey, by sharing it with others, may bring them clarity on something in their own.
Yeah.
Or may even potentially, like, be or aid in a lesson that they are, you know, that they're currently going through, like, currently learning.
And never.
So yeah, it's definitely important.
And never judge anyone on their journey. Or you have to completely drop your ego. Because you can't judge anyone else or expect them to do what you've done, or to learn about things that you're learning about, like, this is the right way, you have to do this. It's no, everybody's different.
Yes, everything's gonna work in a different way, and holding on to that judgment or expectation of another person is simply limiting yourself.
Yep.
And we don't, that's what we're letting go of.
We need to let that go. Ego's the hardest thing, though.
It is.
It really is.
We've been so trained to listen to it,
Yeah.
as it being our voice of reason, but it's not.
It's the voice of I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, it's more like a defense mechanism than actually like an aid in anything. Like,
it's a saboteur.
yeah, learning how, and you know what? That was one of my most difficult parts. And I do still, I mean, even though it's been so long, I do still have a little bit of difficulty every now and then learning the difference between my intuition, what my inner voice sounds like,
Yeah.
versus what my ego is. And that is like, I feel like one of the most important distinctions that you have to learn.
You see, with me, my ego, I can feel my ego in my body. Like when my ego presents itself, I can feel it there. Whereas my intuition, it's so light.
Yeah.
And so instant.
See, that's really cool. I really like that.
Yeah. My ego's heavy. I don't like my ego.
I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad that can get pushed back. Like, you'll never ever get rid of your ego. It will always stay.
Yeah. It'll always be there.
Just don't listen to it.
Yeah, you just have to tell it.
Yeah.
No, your opinion's not welcome here. You go sit in the corner.
Yeah, you stay in your corner. It's a very nice corner.
Yeah. You can decorate it however you like.
Yeah. But you just stay.
Yeah.
Cute. But mine does. Mine done it a few months ago. Someone commented something on some of my art. And I could still feel it. It hurt. And it was like, fuck off, ego. Because that's all it was.
Because then it tries to feed it.
It was just the ego. Because it's like, that's not true. That's not the case.
Yeah.
But in that moment, like when the ego does get involved, it's strong. And if you can't recognize it, it consumes.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, like, it wants your attention.
Yep.
So it's gotta be loud, otherwise you're not gonna hear it.
Yep. And it does. I found, like, discovering that it was what the ego was and what it did. The battle, that first initial battle you have to try and push it back, is a tough one.
It really is. It is a very tough one. And I feel like that's one of those things where, like, as you continue doing your work, continue releasing all the shit and working through all the traumas and everything and healing and raising that vibration, eventually, like, as you raise up, it drowns it out more and more.
Yeah.
And it basically quiets it and, like, makes your intuition louder.
Yeah. Intuition is amazing.
It really is, though.
Like, I think it's one of my favorites out of everything.
And it's one of those things too where, like, your intuition, like, it's gonna be that quiet little guidance system that, like, I don't really know why, but I feel like I need to send this person this thing or go this direction or whatever, and it's just kind of a little guidance to, like, to help you avoid, something that would have made you late to work or helped out your friend who just really needed a smile or whatever.
And all the things, like, as well that you don't notice, like when your intuition tells you do this and you do it, and you're just completely unaware of what you've done. It's like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
You don't know how many people that's touched.
For sure.
And how big that actually became.
Yeah. And how it was a step in your journey. It was a step to bring you higher.
Yeah.
Like all the little like synchronicities and stuff that come about as a result of it, those things will just never cease to amaze me.
We'll have to speak about our synchronicities next time.
Oh my god, yeah.
'Cause
It's just one of those things where, like, no matter how much I know about it, I understand what it is, how it works, all that jazz, like, I still feel like that little kid that just had, like, this amazing magic trick displayed before me, and I just, like, get so giddy and excited about it every single time. Like, I'm in shock and disbelief, but I'm not. Like, I get it. I know why it happened. I know exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
It's still so freaking cool.
You do though. You did. Oh, it just fills you with like excitement when that happens.
It's just like that little reminder of like, oh yeah, no, magic is a thing.
Joy.
Like this is the magic.
Yeah, it's just the joy that you're in for that moment.
Yeah.
It's just magical.
It is. And who doesn't love magic, man?
I know, right?
And but if you don't, you should.
I would say, though, like, finding people that maybe align with your beliefs, or just someone that you just get the feeling about. Maybe they're your people, and find them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because
that is fun. One of the most important things. You gotta have those people that you can share that kind of stuff with.
Yeah, and just, I don't know, just talk, and because it takes you places.
Oh my god. All the places we've been to.
We've been to so many places.
Don't listen. This is a quest.
Yep.
But there are so many little side quests to do along the way. And if we don't go on tangents, we won't find the side quests.
And we are finding all of the side quests.
Because we're going to 100% this game.
Yep. We need to 100% the game. Need all achievements.
Yeah.
It's so fun, though.
Oh my god, it's so fun. That's the most important part. The destination does not matter.
It's your journey.
It's the journey along the way. And I know that is so like cliche at this point, and so I don't want to say overstated, but that's what everybody always says. But that is the whole point. Is that journey is supposed to be fun. If you're not going on a fun adventure,
you're doing it wrong.
You need to take another look.
Like, sometimes the spiritual stuff would freak me out because of how serious it is.
Yeah.
And I understand that you have to be serious. Like, I know when you're doing Reiki, you can't be a twat.
Yeah.
You're there for a reason, and you have to get it done.
Yeah.
However, I can't be serious all the time.
Exactly. If you're always serious, then that means that you're never having fun.
Yeah. And I like there's even people that I'd like listen to, and I couldn't listen to them anymore because there was no joy, happiness, or anything. They were just repeating words.
Yeah, almost like I'm just reading from a book to you.
Yeah. And it's
Which-
like, it wasn't coming
yeah.
from them.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah. And that kind of stuff doesn't resonate because, like, we want to have fun
Yeah.
with all of this because you know what? Why the fuck not?
And it's for the good, and
Fun brings me joy.
yeah.
And if I am focused on feeling joy, then my journey is going to go so much better.
And we want to share it, and we want to spread it, and
yeah. All of the everything, all of the healing, all of the manifesting, all of the getting to the life that I want, like all of that is going to come so much easier if I'm enjoying myself.
we're having the best time.
And also just like don't hate fun.